Deputy Minister of Agriculture, Tembo, says digital transformation in agricultural trade has the potential to improve efficiency and simplify trade processes in the country. Tembo made the remarks in Lilongwe during the launch of the Sanitary and Phytosanitary Information System, a platform designed to streamline the issuance of permits and facilitate trade between Malawi and neighboring countries. The system has been developed under the Ministry of Agriculture with support from the World Bank through the Southern Africa Trade and Connectivity Project. Chinsisi Moyo reports.
For years, the processing of permits and certificates for agricultural imports and exports has been slow and paper-based, resulting in delays and increased trading costs. This is expected to change following the launch of the Digital Sanitary and Phytosanitary Information System, which will speed up the processing of essential trade documents. The system will support key departments in the Ministry of Agriculture, including the Department of Agriculture Research Services, DARS, and the Department of Animal Health and Livestock Development, DARD, responsible for issuing agricultural trade-related documents. Deputy Minister of Agriculture, Tembo, has described the system as a major step forward in agricultural trade.
Most of the times when the system is not friendly, this stops farmers from trying to use the borders maybe in importing or exporting. But when the system is friendly, it makes it a lot easier for them and it makes trade even better. So the way we trade with our with other countries is going to be far much better than what it was before.
Project Manager for Southern Africa Trade and Connectivity, Hastings Ngoma, says the system represents a transformative milestone in their efforts to modernize quality infrastructure and remove barriers to agricultural trade.
So the goal is to reduce the cost of doing trade and cost. In terms of sustainability, we have built enough capacity within the Ministry of Agriculture, whereby we have well-trained IT staff who will carry over day-to-day activities. I also urged the ministry to allocate some of the resources in order to maintain the system.
About $2.8 million has been invested in this digital initiative that is expected to significantly reduce paperwork and facilitate safer and smoother trade in plant and animal products. Chinsisi Moyo, MBC News, Lilongwe.
Government has urged people in Nsanje to stop believing and spreading unverified information that can trigger mob justice. Minister of Information and Communication Technology, who is also government spokesperson, Shadrack Namalomba, made these remarks at Mtowe Ground in the district, where 5 cabinet ministers conducted an awareness campaign to dispel rumors of manhood disappearance that has led to the brutal killing of 8 innocent people. Simeon Boyce with the details.
The high-level delegation included the Minister of Homeland Security, Peter Mukito, Minister of Local Government, Ben Piri, Minister of Gender, Mary Navicha, and Deputy Minister of Homeland Security, Norman Hisale. Speaking at Mtowe Ground, where there was a football match involving Blue Eagles and Ndamela Select in Nsanje as part of the awareness campaign, Minister of Information, Shadrack Namalomba, urged communities to stop believing and spreading unverified information, warning that these rumors have triggered mob justice that has caused death of 8 people. On his part, Minister of Homeland Security, Peter Mukito, cautioned people against the use of social media and word of mouth to spread misinformation, saying if found, such people will be arrested. Malawi Police has deployed over 300 police officers in Nsanje and Chikwawa districts in order to bring peace and order. So far, 90 suspects have been arrested and they will appear before the court to answer murder charges soon. Simeon Boyce, MBC News, Nsanje.
Chief Justice Rizin Mzikamanda has sworn in 8 members of the Revenue Appeals Tribunal with a call for them to respect the rules of the country and serve taxpayers with accountability and dignity. The 8 have taken the oath of office and allegiance at the Blantyre High Court on Thursday. Rashida Matandika reports.
A total of 9 panelists were appointed by the Minister of Finance, Economic Planning and Decentralization under the Revenue Appeals Tribunal Act of 2021 to provide an independent forum for resolving tax disputes in the country. Speaking on behalf of Chief Justice Nzikamanda, Chief Registrar of the Malawi Judiciary, Innocent Nebi, described the swearing in of the new members as a milestone in tax justice in Malawi.
Today marks a new beginning in the tax or revenue justice system. Previously, when a taxpayer is not satisfied with decisions by MRA, should it be maybe duty, assessment of duty or whatever, they would appeal to the Commissioner General. When they appeal to the Commissioner General would make a decision. When one is not satisfied with the decision of the Commissioner General, then they would go to Magistrate Court, sitting either as a special arbitrator or a taxation tribunal sort of.
Welcoming the new members, Chairperson of the tribunal, Josta Chisale, said they are now ready to start handling cases and disputes which have accumulated since the establishment of the tribunal. He has assured Malawians of justice and accountability in their challenges.
From the information that I have from the registrar, I think as of now we have about 20 cases. And again, by operation of the law, 6 months after we became operational, all the cases that were pending in the other courts were supposed to be transferred to our tribunal because the other forums no longer have jurisdiction. We are promising all taxpayers, all our stakeholders, that especially with the appointment of the panelists, that now we have a designated forum for resolving these tax issues fairly and transparently.
Among those sworn in are Dr. Bex Ligoya, Justice of Appeal Robert Kinangwa, retired, Leonard Mangani, and Sir James Napambo. One more member is yet to be sworn in. Rashida Matandika, MBC News, Blantyre.
The Ministry of Labour, Skills and Innovation has reaffirmed government's commitment in improving technical and vocational education across the country with the aim of equipping young people with practical skills needed in the labour market. Minister responsible, George Ugona, made the remarks during an inspection of a 2-story building under construction at Mzuzu Technical College in Mzuzu. Wisdom Chira has filed this report, being read by Chimwemwe Milulu.
The minister expressed satisfaction with the work, which is currently at 80% since construction commenced end last year and is expected to be completed by end of June this year. Chigona highlighted that most jobs currently available on the market require hands-on skills.
We are here to monitor the construction of this building. As you are aware, this is not just a building. This will help to change the livelihood of our youth because it will create job opportunities. As you know, we are just introducing some other courses that will help us to have more intake in the near future.
Mzuzu Technical College acting principal Precious Katete said construction of the new structure will help to increase the number of students seeking technical education as the institution plans to introduce new programs.
This building is answering the pillars for the TVET. One of it is increasing access. So when you are seeing this pillar, it's like we are improving the access to the college. So much as we are saying that Malawi has to be a predominantly producing nation and an exporting nation and not a country that is consuming. So in this case, we will be improving much in terms of the skill as this building will cater in for that.
One of the students at the institution, Deborah Chule, who is studying solar installation, said the expansion will help reduce congestion during learning.
The building that is being constructed here at Mzuzu Technical College will help most of the students because the classes here are very small, and for students to occupy the classes, it was very hard.
After visiting Mzuzu Technical College, the minister also toured Sonda Skills Development Center to appreciate similar works being undertaken.
Authorities at Mangochi Community Technical College have bemoaned the low number of female students interested in pursuing vocational skills trade at the facility. In an interview with MBC, principal for the college, Masana, attributed the development to gender stereotypes, which force some females into believing the myths that skilled trades are meant for male students. Details in this report being read by Owen Mavula.
According to principal for Mangochi Community Technical College, Mbasa Mwawembe, the World Bank-funded project will help reduce challenges that female students pursuing different courses at the college have been facing. He cited long distance to reach the facility as the main challenge, adding that some female students renting out of the campus have been victims of unplanned pregnancies.
They think electrical installation has got a lot of mathematics. So they try to run away to say, no, we don't want mathematics. We have to do things that are not connected with mathematics. However, that's not true. All the courses here have got mathematics. And I'm quick to say that some of the girls come out with distinctions here in the same electrical installation and electronics. So it's very, very possible. Let them come and see and do and become successful.
For her part, one of the female students at the institution commended government and World Bank for the initiative, saying it will help create a conducive environment for them to pursue technical skill courses better.
My message to my fellow girls is that we must not look down. We need to have faith that we can do it and we can manage it.
Mangochi Community Technical College was officially opened on 25th May 2017, and the facility has produced over 1,000 students.
You're watching MBC News. A reminder of our top stories. Ministry of Agriculture says digital transformation in agricultural trade has the potential to improve efficiency and simplify trade processes in the country. Newly sworn-in members of the Revenue Appeals Tribunal called upon to respect rules and serve taxpayers with accountability and dignity. And people in the country urged to remain calm as government is doing everything possible to contain potential Ebola outbreak.
We give our lives every day to the decisions of others based on one thing: trust. The trust that my medical test will be accurate to determine an accurate prescription. Trust. The trust that the amount of pressure on the vehicle tires, the numbers on the scale, the weight on the package I'm buying are true to my pay. Trust. In this room
at Malawi Bureau of Standards, MBS,
are scientists that verify weighing and measurement equipment, ensuring that they meet regulatory requirements.
This is what MBS through its Metrology department is about.
It promotes health, it promotes trade, it promotes safety.
And that is what trusted scientific measurements can do. And together we join World Metrology Day.
Prayer Center and Church presents Malawi for Jesus Healing and Deliverance Crusade this coming 23rd and 24th of May 2026. The power of God is coming to Chitipa, Malawi.
Flames of fire in the name of Jesus.
For 2 powerful days of healing, deliverance, salvation, and restoration. Do you need a breakthrough? Do you need healing? Do you need God to change your life?
Nilikuja kama nabebwa. Nilikuwa nimesikaniwa na mtoto wangu. Leo nimepona.
This is your moment. Venue, Chitipa Airport behind New Market. Time from 8 a.m. until God says it is done. Come and experience the presence of God through powerful preaching, prayer, miracles and worship. For more information call +265 980 907 117. You are all welcome.
Welcome back. People in the country have been urged to remain calm as government is doing everything possible to contain potential Ebola outbreak. This comes following reports of the Ebola outbreak, which has killed many people in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Charles Pensulo reports.
At least 130 deaths have been reported in an Ebola outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo, with more than 500 suspected cases. Reports also indicate that there are 2 confirmed cases and 1 death in Uganda. The World Health Organization, WHO, has declared the outbreak of the current strain of Ebola, which is caused by the Bundibugyo, an international emergency. The development has brought fear among people, mostly in African countries, including Malawi. However, Head of Health Promotion Division in the Ministry of Health in Malawi, Mavuto Thomas, gives hope to people in the country, saying measures have already been put in place to contain the possible outbreak.
We have also intensified screening in the points of entry, including the airports. As you are aware that we also have a direct flight to Kampala, as Uganda is one of the countries that have been affected. The nation has to become, the Ministry of Health is in the process of ensuring that we detect as early as possible, we screen people that are coming in, and also to respond to a possible threat. We have plans that are already there that have just been reviewed to the current situation.
While commending government for its preparedness, Malawi's health expert Maziko Matemba has called for frequent updates from the government so that people in the country are aware of the status of the outbreak.
Ministry of Health and Government need to be updating the community and also the country as it has been. We have seen that government initiated a mechanism, a dashboard, where it indicates any threats. But also what is most important is to have more capacity building orientations with our frontline health workers who are working in hotspots like in the borders and also other areas which might be seen to be a threat.
Ebola is a rare but severe and often fatal illness in humans, which is caused by a group of viruses. The virus damages blood vessels, causes internal and external bleeding, and leads to multiple organ failure. It is considered curable provided patients seek medical care early. Ebola disease was first discovered in the Democratic Republic of Congo in 1976, and this is the 17th outbreak in that country. Meanwhile, the World Health Organization says it could take up to 9 months before a vaccine against this particular species of Ebola is ready. Charles Pensulo, MBC News, Blantyre.
Women Network for Climate Change Action for Malawi has distributed relief items worth 19 million kwacha to disaster survivors in Mzuzu City. Chairperson for the group, Jennifer Mkandawire, said the donation is meant to help improve the psychological well-being of the survivors, who include women and children. Tuongembeyo has compiled this report, being read by Musa Secheo.
To Mzuzu City Council, about 400 households were affected by floods during the 2025 to 2026 rainy season, and most victims lost houses and other properties, rendering them helpless. In addressing some of their problems, Women Network for Climate Change Action for Malawi, WONECAM, donated assorted items to the victims. WONECAM chairperson Jennifer Mkandawire said they hope that the donation will help both mental and physical being of the beneficiaries, who are women and children.
WONECAM is also there to provide psychosocial support to women and girls who have been affected by effects of climate change in Malawi.
One of the beneficiaries, Patricia Nyirenda, commended WONECAM for the gesture, saying it will help them economically. On the other hand, Public Relations Officer from Mzuzu City Council, McDonald Gondwe, urged other stakeholders to join hands in supporting these victims.
As a council, we commend the WONECAM for the gesture, because usually we focus much to expect something from the government. But when such institutions come forth with such a support, it's a great relief. And we urge other stakeholders to come forth with the little that they may have, because I think a lot of households in the city were badly hit by the recent disasters.
Some of the items donated include maize flour, soya pieces, lighting equipment, and soap.
The University of Strathclyde in Scotland has donated 114 desktop computers, a braille machine, printers, clothes and other items to secondary schools in the country's Southwest Education Division. Speaking at a symbolic handover ceremony in Blantyre, Southwest Education Division Manager Feji Mpasi Mwale said the donation will boost digitalization in schools, particularly in keeping accurate student records through management information systems. Our reporter George Banda speaks to Mwale.
We wrote a proposal to our friends in Strathclyde requesting them to assist us with computers for a CDSS in Blantyre. And then later on, when Strathclyde responded, they responded by sending us lots of computers. In total, we've got 114 desktop computers, these assets. And other than that, they also sent us staff that we had to give to Queen Elizabeth Central Hospital. They sent us books for the public universities. They sent us staff that can be used by the early child development children. They sent us wheelchairs. We've got braille machines. We also have clothes, and it's a lot of clothes, not just a few clothes, but a lot of clothes that we're going to distribute to disadvantaged communities out there. Digitalization is one aspect that is being looked upon in Malawi. We're looking at the digital world. So by having a computer at each school, it means that schools are going to maintain their records in good condition, and should we want the records, we'll get them immediately, because they have that what we call SMIS, Students Management Information Systems, in their computers.
One of the beneficiaries, deputy head teacher at Malawi Defence Force Secondary School, Major Louis Mloza Banda, welcomed the donation, saying it will help to address technical challenges faced by some students at the institution. The Ministry of Education facilitated the duty-free clearance of the consignment.
I will welcome this gesture of computers very much. The computers very much needed in our schools. We need them a lot. Our students are going to conduct research. They're going to be used in learning. They're also going to increase access to technology among the students. There was really a serious gap. Even in some schools, some 33 schools had no computers with them. So this is going to close the gap that was there. And in those schools that had some, this is also going to increase the access, because we are going to add up the numbers.
Malawi Gaming and Lottery Authority, MAGLA, has emphasized the importance of partnering with community organizations in serving Malawians. The Director of Finance and Administration at MAGLA, Dumbo Mwalo, was speaking in Blantyre when presenting a check and other assorted items to VP Lions Club of Umzuzu. According to the representative of the VP Lions Club, Pauline Chigonabanja Drenon, the funds will, among others, support free awareness and screening programs focused on eyesight, diabetes and mental health for the people of Rumpi.
So when we looked at their initiatives, it aligned well with us, because we also work with the community and the society in general. So that made us to make a move towards giving them an assistance towards the campaign they are going to conduct in Rumpi towards health activities.
As Lions Club, our mission is service to humanities. So among other things, for this year, we planned to do a free screening for eyesight, diabetes, mental health, and we're also visiting St. Magdalena, where it's a center for children living with disabilities, as well as elderly. So after looking around, we started looking for sponsorship, and we approached MAGLA, who, according to our concept, they accepted, and they've given us a donation of 7.8 million towards that event.
Well, that item concludes this edition of MBC News. A reminder of our top stories before we leave. Ministry of Agriculture says digital transformation in agricultural trade has the potential to improve efficiency and simplify trade processes in the country. Newly sworn-in members of the Revenue Appeals Tribunal called upon to respect rules and serve taxpayers with accountability and dignity. And people in the country urged to remain calm as government is doing everything possible to contain potential Ebola outbreak. For live news updates, visit our digital platforms by scanning the QR code at the top right corner of your TV screen. You are with me, Obile Kaisa. Many thanks for watching. Good afternoon.
Prayer Center and Church presents Malawi for Jesus Healing and Deliverance Crusade.